Hello there, Brandy Lawson, Tech Girl, coming to you today to talk all about email and what it should be used for and what you should definitely not ever be using it for. Now, email has a long history. It's as old as the internet itself. Actually, it's probably older, definitely older, because even before there was a way to have web pages, we had email. It was the first way that you could communicate across what would be eventually the web. So it became really a catch-all. It was all things to all people because there was nothing else. We just had email. So if you needed an instant response, you sent an email. If you needed to schedule something, you sent an email. If you needed to tell someone they needed to do something, you sent an email. Email was the thing. It's the catch-all. And then email evolved and we got these really cool email clients like Outlook and Thunderbird, and they tried to add a level of functionality to this email interaction so that we could sort and archive and search and be able to manage calendars and tasks and basically make sense of this huge pile of information that was getting exchanged, which was great. But then the next evolution came and we now have multiple devices that we want to be interacting with and using our information on. And so having your email live in Outlook and live on just one computer no longer was very helpful at all, because you needed your information in all the places. You wanted it on your cell phone, you wanted it on your tablet, you need to share it, you need access. So having your email live on a desktop computer in Outlook didn't work anymore. And that's when web apps come along, like Gmail and Hotmail, and now you can have your email and the associated information anywhere you go. But still, some people like Outlook, or Thunderbird, they like to have this place where they get into the email mindset and they do all the things, which is great. But it does tend to produce some bad habits. That is that you just get into your email box and you live there all day long, just reading email and sorting through and trying to make sense of all this information, which is great, but only to a point, because when you're doing email, you're not actually doing the thing that the email is asking you to do, or producing the content, or getting the customer, closing the deal. It's a communication method, but it's not the actual thing that you're trying to do it yourself. So that it became a catch-all. There was software that helped it process and be an okay catch-all, but now we're in a whole different place. And desktop email clients are holding you back. They're also the harbinger of bad habits, so that when you do move to other kind of email clients like Gmail or other alternatives, that you're still using your inbox as a task list. You're still keeping appointments in your inbox. Now, maybe they get moved off the calendar, but you're still culling through all of this information, hundreds or thousands of messages in your inbox. And that is not helping you. It's not making you any money. It's just obliterating your productivity. Because what happens? Sure, you get in your inbox, you're like, okay, I've got 3 things to do today. This, and this. You get in your inbox and suddenly it's like, oh, what's that over there? Or, oh, I needed to do that, I remember. And then you reread. I call it email fondling. You re-fondle every bit of email, remembering this or doing that, and your brain gets all clouded up with stuff. You have things to do. And suddenly you're distracted. It's just as bad as Facebook, only you have this sense that you're being productive because it's business or client related, but you're not being productive. So what is email good for? Email will always have its place. Time after time, the big marketing people come back and say, hey, email marketing is the most effective. Yes, I absolutely believe it. Email marketing is probably going to continue to be the most effective. What else is email good for? Email is good for archivable communications, or communications that need to happen offline, or things that don't need real-time interaction. You don't need an answer immediately. Great, send an email. You need to have a tracked conversation. Great, send an email. There's an introduction that you need to make between two. Great, send an email. Email is good for a lot of things, but here's what you should never be using email for. First and foremost, never use email for a task manager. It does not help you do anything. Sure, it seems convenient and it seems like you can manage it, and some people do okay, but at the end of the day, you're going to be spending way more time doing stuff that's not actually accomplishing your goals. So stop doing that and start actually getting into your email and getting out of your email. Just have a point in time that you go and you check and then you're done. So what do you do with all your tasks? Well, you make a to-do list. And I honestly do not care what you use for to-do lists. Yes, there's a ton of fantastic programs. I use Asana, there's Trello, there's a litany of productivity and product management to-do lists. But if you prefer pen, paper, use it. Use whatever you're comfortable in and wherever you can get the most done. That means having focus, having your items at hand, chunking through them, doom, doom, doom. But get them out of your inbox. If you're a pen and paper type of person, when something to do comes into your inbox, put it on your task list. It goes out of your inbox. Maybe there's a folder that's follow-up. Maybe there's a different way, but it cannot live in your inbox. Killing, obliterating your productivity. Stop it. So when something to do comes in, get it out of there. The way I do it is that I have a label in Gmail called Asana. When something that I need to do comes in, I move it to that label, and then Zapier comes along and picks it up and goes and puts it in Asana for me. So when I'm in my task management, when I'm in productivity mode and doing projects, I have all my tasks there, I organize them, and I get to work. When it's done, I come back and I reply or I respond or I find the email, but it doesn't live in my inbox. The things that I have to do can't live in my inbox. What else can you do about cleaning up your inbox? What else can you do about keeping contacts? Do not keep I need to put this person in my contact list, or I need to reply, or I need to follow up. None of those things belong in your inbox. There are lots of different ways to manage that. You can have a follow-up folders. You can use followup.cc. You can use, I use Streak for following up. There's a lot of things you can do, but we are at a time where we have a lot of options, a lot of tools at our fingertips. So use email what it's good for, and stop using email for what it's not good for. Not for instant replies. We've got IM, text messaging, Snapchat, social media. It's not good for that. Not good for to-do lists. Not good for calendaring. Not good for contacts. There's all kinds of specialized items that will help you do those things instead of keeping them in your email. So true confessions time. Tell me what your biggest email hangups are. I'd love to respond to them. Thanks.